Into the equities market, the market's benchmark performance indicator dropped by 2.08%, while listed equities value decreased by 622 billion naira Monday. Well, the Nigerian Exchange Limited all-share index and its equities market capitalization depreciated from the preceding days, respectively. And if you look at the measures by market breadth, investor sentiment had worsened as 5 stocks were on the gainers table while 21 decliners. Also, it year-to-date positive return decreased to 4.88%. Well, let's look at in terms of volume, a total of 1,008.882 million. That's about 100.8 million units of shares valued at 4.3 billion were traded on the exchange in about 3,000 deals there. So top traders in terms of value was MTA Nigeria with 8.2 million shares worth about 1.9 billion in about 414 deals. So let's look at top 5 gainers for the day. You have Corville losing more than 6%, Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank losing about 2.7%, and you have ICO Insurance, I beg your pardon, gainers rather, gainers gaining about 2.7%, for Corville 6.67%. That's for the gainers now. But for the losers, you have Unity Bank, Prestige, you have Suno Assurance, and of course you have Airtel Africa losing about 8.31% for Airtel Africa, while it's settled at around 1,420 after losing 128 naira 70 kobo in just one day. So those are the top 5 losers and top 5 gainers for Monday's trade. So let's get talking now. Ademola Adabale, Head of Research at Last Portfolio Securities, joins us now. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me this morning.
So thank you for joining on number. So talk to us about yesterday's session at the market that investors lost over 600 billion naira in just one trading or one session at the close of Monday. So talk to us about that. What's responsible?
Okay, thank you very much. So what happened in the market yesterday was sell pressure. So sell pressure that drove the market southward yesterday, and we can see the sell-off in all across major market sectors. You know, all major market sectors were down yesterday, and you know, prior to yesterday, looking at last week, coming from last week, we realized that Thursday, Friday was the same trend, although the loss was not as much as what happened yesterday. But yesterday was an heavy loss due to some blue chip stocks that also lost yesterday. When you're talking about Airtel Africa, you're talking about Seplat also, and you're talking about MTN. These are bellwether stocks, which also dropped. So, so that was basically what happened. We have stocks moving across all the 5 major market sectors yesterday.
Okay. So according to some analysts, that the bearish trend of the market will be sustained given the weak investor sentiment. So what's your reaction to this? Because what we witnessed yesterday, like you said, was as a result of the sell pressure. But the investor sentiment in the market is a posture of that negativity. Perhaps there's a weak investor sentiment in the market. So talk to us. How would you describe that? Hello, Mr. Dabali.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Also, please go ahead.
Yeah, I said we can decide to switch towards that side, but looking from another angle. You know, when you look at the interest rate right now, talking about inflation, looking at the interest rate is not encouraging for investors. So investors will tend to look for safe haven for their investment, right? But that doesn't mean the capital market is a no-go there, because right now, when you look at, okay, before I go into that, if you look at what happened last week, you see that the market will lose a bit, gain a bit. So just a marginal gain and loss in the market, which depicts cautious trading by investors. So they are just waiting to see a signal. And the signal the investors are waiting right now is this time around, their companies are trying to push out their audited financial report for 2022. And also, apart from that, there are some companies that are going to pay good dividends based on their performance. So investors are just looking for these little triggers in order to know what to buy next or what to sell next. You understand? So the economic micro and macroeconomic headwinds in our economy right now is not a good one, but there is still a prospect in the capital market right now. And the sell pressure is just because some investors are still quite cautious. They are trading cautiously, just patiently awaiting the direction the market will tilt to when the financial reports start popping out and when other companies start releasing their dividends. You are looking at companies like Zenith, we're looking at companies like GT. When all these companies start pushing out their dividends, then you see that the market might pick up a little.
Right. So let me quickly jump in here. How long is this sell pressure expected to last? I mean, of course, there are also some analysts are also saying that there's going to be extended profit-taking activities going forward. So how long is this sell pressure expected to last?
I don't see it lasting long because before the end of March now, all companies must have released their audited financial reports for 2022. Right? So this is going to also have an effect in the market. So I don't see it taking too long like that.
Okay.
And moreover, when you look at some of these stocks that are going down right now, some investors might want to quickly take opportunity and buy at a low price. So thereby moving the market upbeat again. So I don't see it going far within a week or 2 weeks maximum.
Okay. Did you see any reaction? I mean, analysts reacting to the NPR of 18% because prior to the meeting, a lot of analysts expected that perhaps the CBN Monetary Policy Committee will taper a little bit, maybe review downward, or maybe remain or stay on the status quo. But that didn't happen. So the CBN was able to increase it by 50 basis points. So how did you think the market reacted to that?
Yeah, the market reacted negatively to that. But I was actually expecting them to increase it, but not with the rate at which they were increasing it before, because the CBN will feel that their policy is actually working. They feel that their policy is actually working, so they increase it a bit, not like 100 basis points they increased it with in January. Also, the market reacted, of course. That was why the market started going down now. So the market was not fair to that report. And, it should have been that the CBN should have at least maintained the former rate, because that the former NPR meeting was at the midst of election uncertainties and different macroeconomic factors. So we were expecting the CBN to hold on a bit and let's see what happens after the election before they decide to either increase it further. But looking at the inflation rate, we saw that the inflation rate, it moved from 21.82 to 21.91. So they felt that the gap between 21.91 and the NPR rate of 17.5 is still a bit wide. So their decision was just to close the gap a little bit. That was why they raised it up by 50 basis points to 18% in their last decision. So all this happens is that investors will now look at it that what investment am I going to make that will give me above the inflation rate, even above the NPR rate, which right now is quite unrealistic with the current economic situation of the country. That's why we see a little bit of pull out in the capital market. People are just pulling out in the capital market and looking for other investment class to put in their money.
Okay. Interesting. Just before we get into what we expect today, I want us to look at some specific stocks at the close of yesterday. We saw that the Corp Value gained about 6.67%. That's a 3 kobo, and the Nigerian Police Force gained about 3 kobo as well. You saw ICO Insurance gain about 1 kobo. First Bank Holding gained about 10 kobo as well. Zenith Bank gained about 5 kobo. That couldn't sustain the market though, but it looks like these gains were marginal gains as well. So talk to us about this up and down in the market. If you look at how much each of these stocks gained at the end of yesterday.
One thing I would like you to observe what happened is you just have 5 gainers and we have up to 21 users. So that should tell you the height, the pressure in the market and the sell pressure in the market right now. So when you have 5 gainers, you have 21 users. So what are we talking about?
Okay, so how about
last week that there were some periods that we were having the market being bullish. You also realize that the numbers of losers were more than gainers. Even when the market was bullish, sometimes the numbers of gainers.
Okay, so let's quickly look at the losers. Do we expect that to continue today with regards to what we expect in the market? And we also see that there is a weaker investor sentiment in the market as well. So look at the NCR, Unity Bank, Prestige, Sunny Assurance, Airtel Africa, all on the top 5 losers at the close of yesterday. So what is expected of some of these stocks today? Do you expect that same trend to continue?
Yes, we still expect profit taking to continue, or sell off rather. Sell off till we see any positive news in the market, talking about the audited reports of this company, or talking about firms that might pay good dividends, that their dividend yields might be encouraging to investors.
Right.
So pending the time we see any positive news in the market, it might continue this trend, because as an investor, what do I stand to gain? When everything is coming down, nothing seems working in your country, and when you look at all these barrels.
Oh, I think we're losing connection with Adabale. I wanted us to wrap up on that note. Can you hear me? Mr. Adabale, can you hear me?
See, like I said, before March ends, the companies are only giving. So maybe we might have a positive change in the equity market linked on their results.
Okay. So we need to just leave it there. Thank you so much, Ademola Adabale. He's the head of research at Atlas Portfolio Securities. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Okay, so we just have to let him go there. Thank you for your time there. We appreciate your time. So still to come after the break, we head straight to looking at other topical issues here now, as we turn attention to looking at the subsidy debate, which is still ongoing. Should the government remove it or implement subsidy removal by June deadline, or should there be a measure put in place to perhaps maybe postpone it further? So those are the conversations we'll look at today on the show. Please stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.